Hello children, welcome to another session of English. Today in this session, we are going to deal with the second part of the Dear Departed. In the previous session, we have read the part 1 of Dear Departed. So, let's recollect what we have understood in the previous session. Okay? So, The Dear Departed is a play written by William Stanley Horton, an English dramatist. So through this drama, he tried to portray the human relations between parents and the children and relationship between the siblings. In the story The Dear Departed, we have seen an old man called Mr. Abil Merriweather. He has got two daughters, Amelia and Elizabeth. Both of them are married, well settled. They belong to middle class families. So, this old man, being a widower, few years he stays with a daughter and later he stays with another daughter. So this is how he spends his life, and one fine day when he is staying with Amelia Slater, his eldest daughter, the daughter realizes that he is no more. She realizes that he is dead, he is lying dead. Soon after realizing the fact that her father is dead, she starts settling down the furniture whichever she desired to have. She sends a message to her sister, Elizabeth, and before they reach, she wants to settle down some of the furniture that belongs to her father. This shows that how materialistic the daughters are. Even when Elizabeth reaches, she is least bothered about her father, but she seemed much worried about the furniture in the house and the property his father has left. All the members, they keep talking about installment payments and the property left by the old man. So when they keep talking, the little girl Victoria, she comes scared and tells her mother that grandfather is getting up and he is coming downstairs. Now all the members of the family, both the couples, they just become dumbstruck to see the old man getting down the stairs. They keep thinking whether this is the real Abil or the ghost of him. So there we stopped reading the play. So children, did you feel like reading more? Reading the second part? Okay, fine. If you have read, it's good. Even if you haven't read, no issues. We are going to read the second part now. Are you ready to read and break the suspense now? Come, let's start reading. Now let's read the part 2 of the one-act play, The Dear Departed. Before we read, let us know the meanings of some of the new words that we are going to come across while reading the play script. The word gingerly means carefully. The next word is tomfoolery. Listen carefully children, it's tomfoolery. Tomfoolery means being foolish or a silly behavior. Next word is sneak. Sneak means to move without making noise. We can say creep or tiptoe. Thumping. Thumping is a sound word. When you hit something very hard, the sound that comes and that action of hitting hard is called thumping. Consternation. Consternation means a worried and sad feeling. Handier. Handier is easy to carry. When you can carry something very easily, you can say it's handier. Fancy. Fancy is want, to want something or feel like having something, that is fancy. What the dickens? Children, it's again an idiomatic expression. If you remember, we talked about idioms and their importance in figurative expressions in our previous session. So there is another idiom here. What the dickens means, such kind of phrases are used to show one is annoyed or surprised. Okay, it's an old British English expression. Next one is double-faced. Double-faced. It sounds little funny that like no one have two faces. But when you say one is double-faced, it means dishonest or deceitful or untruthful. They express something and they think something else, quite opposite. That is, such people are called double-faced. Ring o' bells. Ring o' bells. It's the name of a restaurant. Okay. This is the scene where we stopped reading our part 1. So, recollecting the whole story after seeing the picture? Yes, the old man is coming down and all the family members are dumbstruck, and let's see what's going to happen now.
What's the matter with little Vicky?
He sees Ben and Mrs. Jordan.
Hello. What brings you here? How's yourself, Ben?
Abil thrusts his hand at Ben, who skips back smartly and retreats with Mrs. Jordan to a safe distance below the sofa. Father, is that you? She pokes him with her hand to see if he is solid.
Of course it's me. Don't do that, Amelia. What the devil do you mean by this tomfoolery?
You took us by surprise, father. Are you keeping quite well?
Trying to catch the words.
Hey, what?
Are you quite well?
Hey, I'm right enough, but for a bit of a headache. Amelia, what the dickens did I do with my new slippers?
Aren't they by the hearth, father?
I don't see them.
Observing Henry trying to remove the slippers.
Why, you got 'em on, Henry?
I told him to put them on to stretch them. They were that new and hard. Now, Henry? Mrs. Slater snatches the slippers from Henry and gives them to Abil, who puts them on and sits in the armchair.
Well, I don't call that delicate stepping into your dead man's shoes in such haste.
Victoria runs across to Abil and sits on the floor at his feet.
Oh, Grandpa, I'm so glad you're not dead.
Hold your tongue, Victoria.
Hey, what's that? Who's gone dead?
Victoria says she's sorry about your head.
Uh, thank you, Vicky, but I'm feeling better. Why, Ben? You're in mourning, and Lizzie too, and Emilia, and Henry, and little Vicky. Who's gone dead? Is someone in the family?
He chuckles. No one you know, father. A relation of Ben's.
And what relation of Ben's?
His brother.
Damn it, never had one. Dear, dear. And what was his name, Ben? Uh, uh,
Frederick.
Albert,
Isaac. Isaac? And where did your brother Isaac die? In Australia? Well, I suppose you've only been waiting for me to begin tea. I'm feeling hungry.
I'll make tea.
Come along now. Sit you down and let's be jolly.
Abel sits at the head of the table, facing spectators.
Hey, Amelia and Henry. What the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom?
Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless.
Do you hear me? Henry, Amelia.
what bureau was that, father?
Why, my bureau. The one I bought.
Pointing to the bureau.
Was it the one, father?
Ah, that's it. What's this doing there, huh?
A pause. The clock on the mantelpiece strikes 6. Everyone looks at it.
Drat me if that isn't my clock too. What's the devil's been going on in this house? Well, I'll be hanged.
I'll tell you what's been going on in this house, father. Nothing short of robbery.
Be quiet, Elizabeth.
I'll not be quiet. Oh, I call it double-faced.
Now, Elizabeth.
And you too. Are you such a poor creature that you must do every dirty thing she tells you?
Rising, thumping the table.
Damn it all. Will someone tell me what's been going on?
Yes, I will. I will not see you robbed.
Who's been robbing me?
Amelia and Henry, they've stolen your clock and bureau.
Working herself up.
They sneaked into your room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead.
Hush! Quiet, Elizabeth.
I will not be stopped. After you are dead, I say.
After who was dead?
You.
But I'm not dead.
No, but they thought you were.
A pause. Abil gazes round at them.
Oh, so that's why you're all in black today. You thought I was dead?
He chuckles.
That was a big mistake.
He sits and resumes his tea. Father,
It didn't take you long to start dividing my things between you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since your mother died, I've lived part of my life with you, Amelia, and a part with you, Lizzie. Well, I shall make a new will, leaving all my bits of things to whoever I'm living with when I die. How does that strike you?
You know, father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. We would make you very comfortable.
no, he's not been with us as long as he was with you.
I may be wrong, but I don't think father will fancy living on with you after what's happened today.
It seems to me that neither of you has any cause to feel proud about the way you have treated me.
If I have done anything wrong, I'm sure I'm sorry for it.
And I can't say more than that too.
It's a bit late to say it now. Neither of you cared to put up with me.
No, Father.
Hey, you both say that because of what I've told you about leaving my money. Well, since you don't want me, I'll go to someone that does. Come, Mr. Merriweather, you've got to live with one of your daughters. I'll tell you what I've got to do. On Monday, next, I've got to do three things. I've got to go to the lawyer and alter my will. And I've got to go to the insurance office and pay my premium. And I've got to go to St. Philip's Church and get married. What?
Get married?
He's out of his senses.
I say, I'm going to get married
Who to?
to Mrs. John Shorrocks, who keeps the Ringo Bells. We've had it fixed up a good while now, but I was keeping it for a pleasant surprise.
He rises.
I felt it was a bit of burden to you, so I found someone who would think it a pleasure to look after me. We shall be very glad to see you at the ceremony.
He gets to the door.
Till Monday, then, 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church.
Opening the door,
It's a good thing you brought that bureau downstairs, Amelia. It will be handier to carry it across to the Ringo Bells on Monday.
he goes out. The curtain falls. This is the end of the play. We have seen in the beginning of the part 2, the old man came calmly downstairs and he kept on talking to the family members. He was shocked to see them all together. While talking, he realized the intentions of his daughters. After realizing the ill intentions of Amelia and Elizabeth, Mr. Abil revealed his decision of remarriage. This shows that He was aware of their greedy and selfish nature. Calming everyone from their explanations of their plans for his funeral, he proclaims that he is giving all his belongings to Mrs. Sherlock, who loves him and truly worry for him. And the sisters, both Amelia and Elizabeth, were unable to digest his decision of changing the will. They tried to apologize, but Mr. Abil, who is known for taking the decisions at the right moment, didn't listen to them at all. Rather, he invited them to his wedding on the next Monday. Every writer tries to convey some message or bring some awareness among the readers. So, let us try and understand what exactly the play Dear Departed wanted to convey to the readers, what exactly the writer Stanley Horton tried to depict through this play. It depicts the sad reality of the modern nuclear families that are strained with selfish interest. It reflects the society at large. The focus is on the harsh reality of dying love and absence of moral values in the children of the present day world. It also shows that children of today have no sense of responsibility towards their parents. Though the writer talks about the irresponsibility of the children towards the parents, but I think we all are not in the category of Amelia and Elizabeth. At least you and I are not so selfish like them, because we know that it's our responsibility to take care of our parents. And children, we should love and care them and not their property. So let's take an oath to ourselves saying that I love my parents and not their property. I hope you all turn out to be good children to your parents. Even when you grow up, you must remember to respect them and take care of their needs, because they were the one who taught us to eat, to move about, and everything. We are indebted to them for all the things they taught us, and we should always be thankful to our parents, and we should be with them, supporting in every walk of their life till their last breath. So promise yourself that, children. Now let us look at some of the words that describe qualities of a person. So they can also be called as personality traits. Personality traits are the characteristic features of people which separate an individual from the other. It reflects the person's character, such as feelings, emotions, behavior, actions, and attitude of a person. So while reading this play, we have come across several characters who had either good features or the bad ones. Some characters' behavior was very good and some characters were very bad. So while talking about the characters, instead of saying bad qualities or good qualities, it's always better to say all the good ones can be called as positive characters and the little bad ones can be called as negative characters. So now let us see what are the words that give us the impression of a positive character and the words that give us the impression of negative characters. Some of the words that gives the impression of a negative personality are greedy. You know the meaning of greedy. It's having excessive desire for something, either for money or for things or for food, anything. If somebody wants extra, that is greedy. Vulgar. Vulgar is being rude, dominating. It's having power on somebody, something like commanding someone, ordering someone. So it's a negative trait. Insensitive. A person who has this trait will never have concern for others. So more a selfish kind of a person. Okay, so insensitive is a negative trait. And jealous. You know this word. Jealous is being envious. That's also a negative trait. Arrogant. Arrogant is a person who has own importance. You can even say they'll be proud of themselves. And stubborn. Stubbornness is also a negative trait. So it is difficult to change. A person who doesn't like to change or doesn't like to move from the situation or the place they are. So all these greedy, vulgar, dominating, insensitive, jealous, arrogant, stubborn, all these qualities describe a person as a negative character. Let's see some of the positive traits. Honest. Yes, honest, being truthful and sincere. We all love people with honesty. Yeah. Loyal. Loyal is being faithful. Courageous. Courageous, a brave person. Compassionate. Compassionate is a feeling it's a deep sympathy for the suffering. Generous. Being generous is being kind. A generous person always would love to offer, they'll be ready to offer people in need. And polite, being respectful, well mannered. I think you all might be very polite with your elders and teachers, right? Yes. And reliable. Reliable is the person whom a person can depend upon. Right? So these are the some of the positive traits that can make a person a positive one. You might have understood the play completely now after reading the second part. So let's see how much you have understood. So let's go and check your understanding. So here comes your first question. Why was the family shocked to see the grandfather awake? Okay, understood? Why was the family shocked to see the grandfather awake? So we know the reason. So how to put it in 2 or 3 sentences? The family was shocked to see the grandfather awake as they thought him to be dead. That is the first reason. They were worried as they will not be able to share his belongings that they were planning. So this gives the complete answer to this question. Here is the second question. What are the 3 things that Mr. Abil planned to do on the next Monday? He talked about 3 things that he is going to do. He told those 3 things to the family members. Yeah, recollect them and we'll put it in a sentence. The 3 things that Mr. Abil planned to do on the next Monday was to go to a lawyer and change the will. Then pay his insurance premium and finally go to St. Philip's Church and get married. Right? He talked about 3 things: change of will, payment of insurance premium and getting married. See, it's so simple. Next question. The play The Dear Departed is a satire. Do you agree? Support your answer. So we talked about satire in our first session. Okay, let's recollect and see whether we can write this answer. So in such questions you have to give your opinion. When a statement is given and you are asked to say, do you agree or not, you have to say either yes or no. If you agree, you have to say yes. If you do not agree, you have to say no. And then you have to support your answer. That is, substantiate. What if you say yes, you should say why you have said yes. If you say no, you should be in a position to say why you are saying no to that. Okay. So let's see. Yes, I do agree. Okay. The play clearly brings out children's greed for what they inherit from parents in a humorous way. So, it is a satire on the present society. That gives the complete answer. Here is the last question, children. Mr. Abil Merriweather decides to remarry at the age of 70. Do you support his decision? Elaborate your answer. Children, this is another open-ended question where you can write anything. You have to give your opinion about the statement given. The statement is Mr. Abil Merriweather decides to remarry at the age of 70. Usually people don't get married or people don't go for remarriage at this age. So here is a question, do you support his decision? Now it's up to you. But it's mere saying yes or no will not give you marks. You have to say why you have supported or opposed his decision. Okay, so let's see how to express it. Yes, I do support Mr. Abil's decision. Now we are going to support our own statement. When his daughters are not interested to take care of him at his old age, I think he has every right to remarry a person who can look after him. So, in this way, we give a valid reason for our opinion. Okay, this is how we have to present an answer while getting an open-ended question. To the same question, if you want to give the answer in a different way, like we said yes, I do support. If at all you want to say no, then how your answer would be. Let's see. No, I do not support Mr. Abil's decision because instead of going away from his family, he can give the property to his daughters and stay with them happily. Yes, this also is an acceptable answer. As long as you substantiate your stand, your answer would be taken as right. Okay, so for this such open-ended questions, you can write any answer, but only the substantiation makes the difference. Okay. With this, we come to an end of this session of the Dear Departed. Hope you all enjoyed reading such funny and humorous one-act play and you got the message communicated, and this shows that any reading will help us to learn something, to accept some facts, and to know how to be a good citizen, a good person. As Francis Bacon said, reading makes a full man. Reading makes a complete man. So, let's know one more thing. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So, children, if you want your mind to be healthy, if you want your mind to be intelligent, you have to keep on reading. Read books, not only textbooks. Read any books that you come across. Read newspapers, read storybooks, read biographies, read novels, and read play scripts. It's fun in reading. Okay, children? So, keep reading. All the best.